The ticket price controversy has arisen again. I'm actually personally having a whip round for Juliet Stevenson because I wanted to get out more. Well, it is outrageous. It's outrageous. I remember going to see, I won't name it, but it must be about 10 years ago. I didn't see a big musical. And because they knew they had a bit of a captive audience, the prices was, I think it was suddenly maybe £90. And it was like there was oh, go on, let's have a go. And it worked. Since then, it's just through the roof. I mean, it's unbelievable. So it's fantastic to have places like the Donmar and the National, which have a dedicated attempt to have a lot of tickets released for 10 or 15 quid to bring people in. I mean, one of the brilliant things about being here in the last few years is how much the space around it has been made attractive for the first time. I used to wander down here thinking, it's so off-putting. And now there's just so much going on. It's like there are wonderful sort of gateways into getting people into the theatre. And if they get through the door and find that it only costs 15 quid or for some shows or some performances, then that's the sort of thing that will make the difference. The West End, I think, is pricing itself to death and will inevitably, a bit like London itself, become so increasingly rarefied that you won't be able to take any risks at all. You'll just have to put on surefire winners, and then I suppose, there'll be some sort of revolution. That's what needs to happen. As with anything like this, I think it reaches a critical mass and then sort of folds in on itself, and then something else will spring up where suddenly someone's doing very exciting theatre that only costs 20 quid, and people will flock back to that, and it'll all sort of find its way, I think. But it is quite depressing, and it's sad to think that the West End has become so sort of fossilised. Not entirely, because there is, it's better than it was a few years ago when I don't think you really could see straight plays, and you really do. I went to see View from the Bridge, and the idea of a play like that transferring a few years ago has been a bit sort of mental. You think, well, unless it's a big musical, you haven't got a chance. So it's a bit better, but the prices are just making it. I mean, you could not afford to go with a family, or even there's just a couple of you. I mean, it's like sort of placing a bet. It's like, well, this had better be a good one because it's cost me half my wage. So I think really anything we can do to try and create new initiatives and just find a way of it not being sort of obscenely expensive.